What's up? I'm driving home, going 80 miles per hour. Yeah, that's not the speed limit. Totally going over the speed limit. But yeah, finished the day. Seemed a little bit more motivated than normal today at work. Not exactly sure why, because typically I have not been extremely motivated at work lately. Go figure. Yeah, I it seemed like today turned out to be a little bit better than what I would have thought today would have been. So check it out when it starts. It's Valentine's Day, so definitely happy Valentine's Day to all the ladies out there, and I guess guys too, because the other part of the equation of the Valentine is a guy. I don't swing that way. However, to each their own. No hates on all Lovers Day. Yeah, I definitely where I started. Yeah, so it was definitely not a good start to the day, right? So I wake up all super early and I go out and I get my little Valentine's Day sweets because, of course, I don't think ahead and buy them ahead of time, like probably a well prepared normal person does. I do that the day of, but I didn't care about waking up early. That whatever, that's fine regardless. I get up early, and here's the part that totally sucks about waking up early is I tend to not want to turn the lights on because I don't want to wake my wife up, right? So when I wake up, I'm going through everything. I'm getting my clothes and getting dressed, and I guess I could just go into the bathroom with my clothes and get dressed in there. Again, maybe something normal people do. I don't know. I go and I'm getting dressed and whatnot, and I'm ready, and I go out and I get the stuff, and I come back home and have everything all prepared and all that kind of stuff for a nice little morning Valentine's Day surprise type of deal. Well, I go to work, and I'm driving every single morning when I drive to work. I have coffee. I guess that doesn't separate me from the other 99% of the U.S. workforce that depends on coffee or some sort of drug just to get them through the day. But when I'm driving, I'm kind of fumbling around with some things, and notice the car in front of me stops. I think it's super fast stopped, and all of a sudden I'm gonna hit him, so I'm putting on the brakes as fast as I possibly can, and boom, there goes the coffee, flipping all over the car into the bottom, by the pedals of the driver's seat, right? And when it hits the ground, so nothing spills out right then, but when it hits the ground, all of a sudden that's when the coffee decides that it's going to splash all over the fucking place, and it's all over my pants, and on top of that, I wear khaki pants today. The one time I might wear khaki pants 3 times a year. It seems every single time I spill coffee, khaki pants, and it is all over the khaki pants. I'm like, oh, great. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna own it. Who cares? You have coffee. That's a completely understandable and explainable thing. You have coffee all over your pants. Obviously, you dropped coffee on your pants. That happens, right? Well, as I'm examining my pants, and let's see if you can see this now. Let's see. That's right there. See that? Right in there. Yeah. That's a big hole in the crotch. How do you like that? A hole in the crotch. Awesome, huh? Yeah. So not only do I have coffee stained, I'm looking like Rambo with camouflage khaki pants on because I have coffee stains and weird flowery type shapes all over myself. I also have a hole in my crotch, so that's awesome. But you know what? F that. Own it. You know what that hole is? It's easier to go to the bathroom now. Yeah. Nobody else thought of that. It's kind of like the way underwear used to be before they used to sew up that little hole in the front. But actually, no. I think my underwear isn't sewn anymore. So You can actually use that little trapdoor hole in your underwear. Ladies, look into that. It's awesome. Maybe you know about that because you have boy cut underwear or whatever that Superman type of stuff is. That's not cool. Like, why do girls want to play themselves off like they're guys and wear guy stuff? I don't know. But it is kind of cool because it looks pretty cool, and when you see that, that's pretty awesome. But regardless, still, that's the way they started. But again, I said, forget that. I owned it. I turned it around, and I went to work, and I was still motivated out of my bat crazy brain, and put in a good day's work. Maybe not overly productive as far as what the sales figures, and that's what I do. For anybody that may or may not know, I'm in sales. I sell stuff day in, day out, all the time. Some days are better than others. Today, not that great, but I had some, I guess, very productive phone calls, so that's good, and that's something that the bosses would always like to hear, that you're having productive phone calls, because if you're not producing numbers wise, they want to make sure that your productivity levels are at a certain point, and whatever. But yeah, anyway, so that happened, and you want to know what else happened? So today I drank a lot of water. I was on the phone a lot. Mouth is getting dry, and just days like that, you definitely want to drink a lot of water. Also coffee at work, and actually here. So check this out. At work, we haven't had really like coffee. Like we've had coffee. We've had coffee at work, and maybe I shouldn't even be complaining about this or anything at all, because who knows, maybe you work at an office where you don't get coffee. Well, my office, on our floor, we constantly have coffee. Always have coffee. We have these huge industrial style coffee makers, and they have coffee in them all day long. That's what they do. That's they're coffee makers and pots and industrial size, so that there should be tons of coffee in it, right? Well, so here's the deal, right? Over the last couple months, maybe, they've only been doing one run of coffee a day, and we have a number of people on our floor, and all of us, like I said before, there's 99.999% of America's workforce that's reliant upon coffee just to get them motivated and up to do stuff during the day. Our sales floor is no different than America, because we're in America. But so we haven't had refills on coffee. Like if you're not in by 8:30 in the morning, we don't get coffee, and that's something else too. Like typically, we're able to come into the office anytime, maybe before 8:30 in the morning. So I can come in at 6 o'clock in the morning. I can come in at 8:30 in the morning. Anywhere in there, there's no set hours. But regardless, I digress. If you're not in the office by 8:30 in the morning, you just might not get coffee. And it's been a complaint that I know the people that I kind of sit and converse with that drink coffee, because again, 99.9999% of America drinks coffee in the morning. So yeah, people I talk to, that we're all mad, we're all upset, because if you're not there super early in the morning to get your coffee, you're not getting coffee for the rest of the day. And I don't understand how that's possible, because these things, they're huge. The coffee makers, they're huge. I don't know. But yeah, so what was kind of funny today is I go in and I get my cup of coffee because I was there early. I'm trying to rededicate myself to coming in earlier, mostly because during the winter months it gets darker earlier, so I don't like coming home at a point where it's dark out. It already seems like the day's over. By the time you get home, that's it. That's your day, and you're done, and that's that, right? So I'm going in the office earlier, so I'm getting out earlier, possibly earlier than I'm supposed to leave. Anyway, who cares, right? You know. So I steal an hour a day. You know, what is that? 20-something hours a week. That's almost like a part-time employee a week that I steal from this company, I guess, which is really bad when you think about it that way, right? So I'm stealing themselves of a part-time employee by leaving an hour early a day. Oh well, I make up for it by productivity. I'm extremely productive while I'm there. So maybe I produce more than what an additional part-time employee would do. That's how I'll explain it. Anyway, back to the coffee thing. What I noticed this morning is when I got to the office, there was a sign posted by the coffee, and it basically said, "Hey, lazy bastard, you can make coffee too. You don't have to just go back to your cubicle and poke fun and complain and be assholes about the whole coffee situation. And really, that's not fixing a problem. That's really just adding to it. Maybe even creating a problem. Maybe we're the only two people in the office that are really pissed off about this shortage of coffee. I don't know. But regardless, so I guess going back to the sub-story of the sub-story that I had before is, so I drank an exceptionally large amount of water today, mostly because I was talking a lot. I was on the phone a lot. I was being productive. There's that word again, productive, right? So I drank an absurd amount of water. Absurd amount of water. There were people that actually said to me today, save some for the fish. Right? So doing this, I had to go to the bathroom a lot, right? And so I'd get up and I'd go to the bathroom and I'd go to do my thing in the bathroom. Well, apparently today my mindset was on being productive, and I wasn't having an overly productive stop at the washroom. So as I'm coming out of the washroom, and again in khaki pants, so this was extremely noticeable. Perhaps there was a drop that was still there, maybe, and leaked out. So there was clearly a drop there. Basically, there was a piss spot on my pants. How do you like them apples? A piss spot right there on my pants. That's kind of how that was. But again, I don't care. I'm worried about being a productive part of my company, which makes me a productive part of society and a productive part of America, right? That 99.9999% of coffee drinking Americans that work damn hard every single day with piss pants and camouflage khaki coffee stained pants, right? So that's what I am. Yeah. Again, productive day. Lots of calls. Lots of piss on my pants. Productivity. That's what I got. Thanks.